Hello and welcome to BDE Travels. My name is Manuel Hernandez and this is my family, or part of my family. We're 6 total in our family. My wife,
Damaris, hi.
and this is the youngest one, Anielis. And we're here today, we're going to be talking about the equipment that we had to use in the Camino de Santiago, Camino Francés, or French way, from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. So we're going to be talking about different things. We're going to be talking about
4 things: the documents that are necessary, the clothing, and the toiletries.
optional equipment.
Yes, and the things that are essential.
So let's begin by talking about the different documents that you need in order to go to Spain and complete the Camino de Santiago.
So what's the first document that's very important?
I think the most important thing to consider is to have a valid passport. Now, passports are easy to get. You can get it through the state office, also through the U.S. Postal Service. But remember that when you travel to Europe, you gotta have a valid passport. For adults, they're valid for 10 years. And for the younger ones,
They're valid for 5 years.
they're valid for 5 years, exactly. One thing to consider is that if you're going to travel abroad, especially to Europe, you gotta have a limit, or you gotta be traveling within a limit of 6 months, meaning that you cannot have 6 months left on your passport. You gotta have more than 6 months in order for you to be approved to enter the European Union.
Now, is it necessary to register in the embassy?
It is highly recommended you go to www.travel.state.gov, and in there you register all the information about your family or the persons who are traveling, and that way you can get access to a lot of good information, which I highly recommend you go to the website and read everything that it's in there for all the people that are traveling abroad.
Now, for travel insurance, is that optional or is it highly recommended?
Once again, that's another item that is highly recommended. There are several companies in the US that you can use. We use Travel Guard, but you can also look online and see what benefits do they have, but it's essential, I would say. Not highly recommended, it's essential. Because if for some reason you get injured or anything happens and you need to be transported, from Europe to the US, if you have to cost that yourself, it's very expensive. If you have travel insurance, they will cover that for you.
Now, what about international driver's license?
There are many places in Europe, and we haven't had this experience in Spain so far, but I do know that oftentimes they don't allow your license from the US. So you have to go, there are places like the AAA, or you might be able to get online. It's called an international driver's license. And what you do is you fill out the information, and with that information, you go ahead and make your travel plans.
Another document that's very important is the medical document. If you have people that have, or family members that have allergies or some type of medical condition, it's highly essential that you have those documents with you, and to your medications and so forth.
One thing to mention is that there's certain medications that are legal in the US, nevertheless, there's countries in the European Union or in the world that those medications are illegal. So in order for you to transport those kind of medications, you must have a medical permission from your doctor or physician allowing you to carry that on board.
Another thing is the hotel confirmation, all the documentation from the hotels that you're going to be staying in.
Yeah, in order for you not to carry a whole bunch of documents, what we recommend is you take a photocopy of all the documents that you have and email them to yourself. That way, when you are abroad and you have access to the internet, you can actually pull those documents in case you've lost them or in case someone stole that from you. You still have access to them.
And that includes the tickets.
Your boarding passes, your reservations from the hotel, train reservations, car reservations, any kind of reservations. I suggest that you make a photocopy of them, email them to you before you go to your travel destination, and that way you have access all the time.
Now, another document is going to be used is another type of passport. Could you explain that?
Yeah, this is what we call the credentials. The credentials are, in a way, they're the pilgrim's passport. You get these either through any Catholic church that it's related to the Camino de Santiago. You can get them at the hotel in Roncesvalles, or if you start from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, you can get them right there at the pilgrim's office. And once you get that, you will stamp each way or each hotel that you go into, any restaurant that you have, and that will be the way for you to validate to the people in Santiago de Compostela, so that you can receive your Compostela that you actually did the Camino de Santiago. But if you don't have this, you will not have access to the albergues, which are the small hostels that are much cheaper than pensiones or hostels or hotels in Spain.
Also, the stamps are very pretty.
If you like to collect them, the stamps are very, very nice.
Yeah.
You had a whole bunch of them. You like them. All right.
Another document or information that you have to do is call your bank and let them know your travel dates, and that way they know what days you're going to be traveling in order for safety reasons.
Yeah, what you do is when you go to Spain or any part in Europe, you call your bank or you do it through the internet and you set the dates that you will be traveling. That way, if for some reason your car gets stolen or lost, there's a charge made to your credit card. Beyond those days, you're protected because you actually put a block of those days. So we highly recommend to call your bank or do it through the internet and set the dates that you're traveling and the countries that you're going to by specific date. That's for security reasons.
Okay, so in summary, the important documents is your passport, your travel insurance,
Your credenciales or your credentials for the pilgrim passage,
the international license,
and make sure that your credit cards are up to date,
and medical documentation.
medical documentation.
Hello, it's your favorite Hernandez here. Mwah. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to follow BDE Travels on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Yeah, you know what I mean. And Instagram. So, bye.